Angelic teaching number 1, session number 6. All right. Let's do some energy work to increase your level of frequency, and we'll dive into some more techniques. I'll let you create your field of energy, your vortex. Set yourself on your crystal ball. Increase your level of frequency. And there we are. You've seen me sometimes. I touch either location on my own body or solar plexus. Remember, we work as a sponge and we pick up on our own body the emissions of what one person is releasing or transforming or having pain by increasing our sensitivity. As we increase our sensitivity, we are getting more and more aware of our surrounding environment. In that way, we feel more things. This is why sometimes you might feel suddenly a pain on your throat that you didn't feel before. Obviously, it's not your pain from your throat, it's something that you pick up from the surrounding environment by feeling this sensitivity. It is not affecting your own health. It is just that it is manifesting itself on that same location because it vibrates to the same location as someone else is emitting. Sometimes by just acknowledging it and just by touching that location, not only you bring more awareness to it, but at the same time you release it faster. It also helps one person in front of you to understand how you work and how you are able to just pinpoint the pain that this person has. Remember that you're talking to one person and you basically wanted to interact with this person on many different layers. And the visual aspect is also very important. Sometimes, on the contrary, you might want to be doing some energy work without using too much of your hands, depending on the level of awareness of this person in regards to energy work. Imagine that you are dealing with a kid or a young person or someone who is definitely not in this field, and you start waving your hands and moving and bringing more energy, having a lot of different signs and expressions. Well, you might just be scaring this person instead of helping him and reassuring this person that everything is doing great. So, which means as well that in terms of sensitivity, you have to adapt yourself to the level of awareness in that field of expertise of this person in front of you. Sometimes as the sensitivity of that person increases and the awareness of this person increases, you might be going back to doing less moves and less talks, because at one point you're going to start to interact with this person on many other levels and working more on telepathic level. And at that point, words are kind of slowing down in the process, because you can only express so much with words, but obviously during the energy work, a lot of things are happening. Just like now, for example, I'm releasing some pains, I'm increasing your level of frequency, I'm delivering you this teaching. looking how fast you go and how those different settings are being arranged in your own body and your own cells and DNA, and rearranging this, resequencing that, but at the same time interacting with you and being in your presence. So you do work on many different layers. This topic of being able to interact on a more brain to brain, without any words, talking about telepathic theme, well, it happens. You will know when you start to pick up thoughts of someone and this person start to react to your own thoughts, then you will know. It creates a flow of energy between one person and another. It is one subject and one field that some psychics or healers like to work on and are very skilled. It depends of your own abilities, and it depends as well on how you want to put focus on, how much focus you want to put on. I like to be working with telepathy. It's very helpful because time and space do not exist, and it goes very, very fast. You can talk to someone who is not there and thousands of miles away, and being able to just hold a conversation just like this person would be on the phone with you. And you also can feel the interaction with your own body and the emotions that you pick up, and also the emotions of the other person in regards to your own emotions. It's very interesting. Again, remember that your level of sensitivity, your level of frequency has no limit. There is no limit. So again, it's not a quest on how much you're going to be able to perceive and how fast you're going to get those different powers or gifts or skills. It's all about what type of work do you do, what type of intensity do you put in, and at one point your gifts reveal themselves to you because you kind of need them at that moment. Remember that there is that say that says that you will receive what you shall ask. Well, the more you go on a path, you also have to understand that tools come along when you need them. They reveal themselves. All right, let's work on the concept of pain. What is pain? Pain is something that wants to manifest itself to you as a message. I like to understand it that way. It's a sign for you to be put back on track. Visualize it as someone tapping on your shoulder because this person wants to talk to you. Is this message annoying? No, it's not. As soon as you take care of it. Remember when you talk with kids, well, imagine if you're not listening to what they're saying, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to tap again, more and more, and maybe even a little bit more strongly. And also, they might be talking a little bit louder as well, and start to interact with you in a way that it is going to disturb you. I see so many parents texting and just being on the phone or just being browsing on internet as they think that they're still present with their kids just because they are physically there next to them as their kids are playing. Well, in fact, those parents are not interacting with the kids. They might be spending a lot of time with them, but they are not present with them. It happens the same way when you perceive the pains, you perceive the signals, but you don't do anything about it, or you're just too focused on something else. You do have the tools to make those changes and make those shifts. Now let's say, for example, that you start to feel that there is some tension on your solar plexus. The first thing you want to know is, does this pain belong to you, or does it belong to someone else? That's the first key rule. And always get back to that. Does it trigger something from your life or from someone else? How to find the answer? Easy. Get back on your crystal ball. As soon as you get back on your crystal ball, you will know if that frequency belongs to you or not. Again, at one point the mind is going to kick in, trying to process, to understand. Find the signals, things that help you to define when you're doing that. Maybe you're frowning your eyebrows and your eyes just in order to think. Maybe you start to touch your head when you want to think about something. Or maybe you will instinctively say, oh, let me think. Or having your eyes just looking into one direction. There are a lot of signals that your eyes are doing in order to connect to some memories or not. You can go online and Google that, about the eyes signals. If you look on the top, if you look down, if you look left, or if you look right, it doesn't mean the same thing. It's like tapping into either the past or the future, or some more visual or more creative part of you. Some people are even able to distinguish if you are lying or not, depending of which side you're looking at. Those are the signals used in sales, for example, that you can also use in your reading or healing with one person, depending of what you feel doing. Personally, I like to trust my emotions. Some other people will be looking more at external signs in order to confirm or deny what they think and what they want to check. Again, remember, you're not the only one working and doing the work. You're linked to your guides, you're linked to some guidance, and obviously this person has chosen to come towards you, so she knows why she's there, and at least her soul knows it. How many people just come, just show up and just say, well, I don't know why I'm here, I just felt driven to come here. Or I saw this sign and I feel this urge of booking the session. And you start to see the tears coming up under their eyes, in their eyes. Because you know it's charged with emotions. Now, use all the tools that we've been working already with. Remember your breathing. Remember to clear your thoughts. Remember how to clear your thoughts with those little bubbles coming out of your head, clearing all those different thoughts. We saw that on the Angelic Vortex certificate. Good. I'm working now on bringing more awareness and bonds in between your different gifts and abilities. today it's a lot about creating connections, bridges between all the tools that we've been using. Something that you really want to add to your work is being smooth, being able to be flexible, to adapt yourself to the environment. If the wind is changing, you have to be able to feel the strength of it, feel if it's going to be a trend or if it's just like a brisk change that's not going to last. You need to be able to go smoothly from one tool to another without to think about it. Alright, let's talk about regressions. What happens with regressions? We could be talking for hours about this, but the main tool is that you will have at one point an inch of something that needs your attention, your focus. Suddenly you might have a vision. You might hear something. You might feel something. And you will know that this belongs to this person that you're helping from another timeline, from its past. We could dive into this, and there are many different tools just for that. You have to know that at one point you will be here present with this person, and you will probably be over there present as well with this other soul. They are not just one technique. There are many different ways of dealing with it. Most of the time your guides will help you through that. But just to give you some tools, remember that you need to blend what you've learned and use those different tools and create your own tools. Let's say, for example, you start to have a picture, an image of this soul that you want to help, and it comes from another timeline. You will notice that because they won't be dressed the same way, they won't be talking the same way or moving the same way. There will be many signals, like watching television. You just know that we're not talking about the same time frame. When this happens, be sure that this person is holding still on its crystal ball, and you have to check that this person is always focused on this crystal ball, on his soul. Visualize that this person is well in its auric field, being well protected. Tell this person that you are going to bring her back to a past life and to a regression. Then visualize in front of your eyes the picture that you just saw, and saw it in a frame, in a white frame. And see that scene, see that movie by playing this movie in front of your eyes. Describe what you see to your client. Control in this present timeline the emotions of what happens to this client as you describe to her what you see in this past life. and at the same time do the healing in this former past life on that screen that you see. You were at that time doing two healings at the same time. One on this soul in this present, one on this soul in the past. And you do the healing the same way. Visualize whatever pain is on this person. Visualize a white fog coming out of the pain. Visualize the face changing, this person smiling. Visualize the event changing and morphing. Then say thank you to this person. Tell your client as well that you bring her back. And then visualize this white frame getting higher and higher, being lighter and lighter, whiter and whiter, and breaking down into fine tiny particles of energy. And at the same time you keep focusing on your client, holding her still on her crystal ball. And when you bring her back, double check that the soul is being still there, and keep finishing the energy work. Obviously, that's the main frame of doing a regression. But there will be many other parameters coming along on the path. It's like knowing how to sail. Concept, the principles are easy to grasp, but then you need experience. And you can't have experience without practicing. So you just have to go and find your own experiences and just be guided. So many different things can happen. Imagine if that past life that you're working on suddenly brings you back to another past life. Because the core issue comes from another timeline. That means you're going to open another white frame. And you're going to have two white frames lined up next to each other as you see this person in front of you. You're doing 3 healings at the same time. Plus you're talking to your client. The key rule when you do a healing is that whatever happens, you have to be calm, you have to be confident, you have to trust, you have to have faith, you have to be positive, and know that for sure the outcome would be great. By doing this, it's like projecting yourself in the future, having already done the work, looking backward to its past, and acknowledging how successful you were doing it. Which brings us to a concept where all our acts, all our actions are already made. Imagine if you do believe that our present is only an altered reality. present has already happened. Let's put some time into that. Let's go slow just for a second. Let's slow down the time. And let's understand what that means. Let's suppose that you have a clear vision of your destiny. Let's suppose that you have already accomplished your destiny. By projecting yourself either already to your next life or to the just last day of your actual life. Now you just need to walk backward. And seeing your life and all the things that you've been accomplishing. And clearing progressively all those different events where you felt they were tragic or painful or difficult, challenging. And as you do this, visualize the outcome getting better. You being even more successful by the end of your life. As you change your future by acting on it, you actually change your present. Suddenly you feel more empowered. This allows you to tap into your own gifts that you will develop in your future. Creating shortcuts through different realities. Intuitively, you don't have to learn those techniques because you will already have learned them in the future. You're just bringing them back from the future back into your present because you need them here. Which means that whatever you don't know, you from the future is going to become your own guide. It's mind-blowing, huh? This concept is very, very interesting. Among your guides, you from your future will be one of them. Which also means that all this work that we've been talking about, you're able to do the same thing and becoming your own guide from your past events. Imagine being able to talk to yourself and going back as a regression, going back to see events that happened in your life. And that precise moment where you feel that you needed help, being able to give and deliver a message to yourself in the past. And go especially to those precise moments where you felt this connection. You felt that you were connected to spirit, where you felt that you were either praying or asking for help, or you felt really good, and almost like receiving messages from somewhere, bringing you hope. Those are the time slots where you were at your peak of your energy level at that time. And you were also receptive, ready to receive a message. Isn't that interesting? This only concept can take you all your life. Keep working just on that subject. Bringing back and forth information not only from this timeline, but from your former past lives. I like to be working with, let's call it my guide of myself from the future in this lifetime. And another guide would be myself in the past, from another timeline, from Atlantis. Those are different persons when they come from a different past life, but it's your soul. And you will feel there is something that you kind of understand as being you. You could be finding rituals and creating your own rituals, your own prayer, in order to bring your guides from your past lives, from your future lives, back to you. Again, what counts is not that much how many guides you work with, on how powerful they are, but more what you do with them. What's the point of working with them? All of this has to come into the equation because of the master plan, because what you are supposed to be doing. Finding exactly what you want to do, well, that's a quest. Finding this inner ability in you to know precisely what to do, when to do it, how to do it. That's interesting. Another subject that we could be working on is how to release entities. Why are those entities coming towards us, and how to deal with them? Each of us come with a different background, different experience, different sensitivity. What happens when you see one person and you feel that there is another something in it? How would you know? Either because this person is letting you know by saying, I feel strange, I don't react like it was me, or my emotions are not the same, or some emotions are being triggering some fears, anger. I don't find myself being myself. I don't sleep well. Many different signs. This person not being able to look into your eyes, feeling agitated when you create a field of energy. This person feeling itchy, having difficulty staying on his chair, feeling suddenly very emotional as you increase the level of frequency. Could be even verbally aggressive. Then you know that there is something that needs to be taken care of. The rule is simple. Stay focused on your crystal ball, increase your level of frequency, stay on your auric field, visualize it glowing, then proceed to the same procedure with your client. Create a field of energy. Another one, a round circle. Either in the air or close to a wall. So you visualize the wall, you see the wall, and then on the wall you visualize this circle. And you open there another field of energy, and from this wall you visualize the end of Archangel Michael coming out. And as you increase the level of frequency of this person, at one point what does not belong to this person is going to not be able to stay in. And then the hand of Archangel Michael is grabbing it and pulling it in its own vortex, dealing with it. Then you close the vortex of Archangel Michael as you thank him for his help. And you do the same thing on your client, checking that this person is back on its soul and that its frequency has changed and this person is way better. Obviously, you do understand that's only the beginning on how to work with entities. And that could take us weeks as well, just to be working on that topic. Defining what type of entities we're talking about, depending of its strength, which field it comes from. There are heaps of different entities. Some are just people who passed away. Some others are people who passed away we don't want to leave and still want to hurt others. Entities who feed themselves from your own auric field where there is a tear, and they are suckers, sucking your own energy field. Some other specific entities want to control your own life by stepping into your body. This is why I like to protect each of the person who comes to see me at one point. And I usually do that at the end of the session. Remember when we do those 3 rounds That's the protection. As you do that sign, you visualize that you're clearing and bringing everything in, protecting this person. We'll get back to that subject in the next session. Talk to you soon.